Viewer discretion is advised.
A very distraught-looking Foundation agent walked into his commanding officer's room. He calmed himself and approached the desk. "Sir, I think you need to take a look at what our cameras captured last night." "Listen, son, I don't care if somebody stole something or slacked off. I've had men went missing ever since that damn expedition. And today, just another man is gone as well. I don't have time for trivia now, so you better make this quick. What do you want?" He shouted at the agent, who had been expecting his CO's sour mood and was not fazed in the slightest by this outburst. "If this is a trivia, it'd be a bad one that no one wants the answer to, sir." The agent handed out a flash drive. The CO took it and plugged it into his computer and pressed play. It was a recording from last night in the boiler room. On the screen, a guard was goofing off and shirking his duties, drinking in what he thought to be an area without surveillance. "That's Jacobson. He's the one that went missing this morning." The CO rolled his eyes, but then perked up and leaned forward at what happened next. The guard found something on the ground that was not meant to be there. Upon careful inspection, the CO swore under his breath when he saw a midnight black and oily-looking baby. The guard reached out to it and touched one of its fingers. It went straight to hell after that. The baby reduced itself to a large puddle of oil and quickly grasped onto the guard's arm, rendering him unable to pull away. The CO watched flabbergasted as the guard was violently pulled to the ground and partially into the puddle. Rivers of that oily substance snaked their way up to his body and began ripping and tearing at his skin. Then came the screams. He wailed in pain and attempted to use his radio, but the thing gripped his free hand, preventing him. The CO shook his head in disbelief as his skin, tendons, flesh, and organs systematically split, shredded, and presumably digested until nothing was left. Once done, it retreated somewhere into the dark of the boiler room. He paused the playback, finally feeling the gravity of the situation. He ordered the agent to block off the boiler room. Could it be? Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today we bring you a SCP Foundation KETER class object, SCP-968. SCP-968, also known as Tar Baby, appears as black, adhesive, high-viscosity oil. The entity is made up of an absurd number of protozoa that work together to accomplish their goal, devouring their prey. The Foundation is unaware of how 986 functions as it lacks a nervous system and an endocrine system. The cells of 986 use unique and specialized flagella that allow them to connect with other cells to enable them to greatly increase their pulling and tearing capabilities. Not only that, but they can also use them to stick to surfaces with ease. Escape is near impossible once it gets a hold of you. In order to hunt for its food, 986 will take the shape of a wounded creature and even mimic a human child to attract other humans. It is believed that it has somehow learned that members of a species will be concerned for such wounded creatures or ones that are very young. How it learned to do so is both equally disturbing and remarkable. Once it has successfully lured its prey, the prey typically will fight back, but it will only further ensnaring them within 986 due to its extreme tethering ability. After the prey has been sufficiently grappled onto, it will be dragged to a body of water to be drowned, or to a hidden den to be consumed. The victim is then ripped to shreds on a microscopic level as they are slowly consumed. Attempts to freeze 968 for analysis have proven extremely hazardous. It conducts heat through friction and metabolism, keeping parts of itself from freezing. It uses its frozen parts as structures for its tendrils to act against, much like muscle on a bone. It is advised not to continue freezing attempts, as 968 may learn to use the bone structure of its prey to escape or attack Foundation personnel. The following is an entry, a report by a member of MTF Epsilon 9, which was dispatched to contain 968. Log entry 5. Name Sergeant John Hawk of MTF Epsilon 9. Status alive. Last remaining member of Task Force Epsilon 9. The task was simple. Go to Africa and to contain a pool of viscous liquid that had been terrorizing local villagers. We were dispatched after an idiotic reporter published a video of an old man being dragged screaming into a large pool of water. The poor bastard didn't stand a chance. After all, when a gigantic snake-looking thing from hell wraps itself around someone, only a moron would run to help. Anyhow, more and more villagers vanished after getting spirited away by a shadow creature. But after that acquisition mission, I can confidently say that it's anything but a shadow. That mission, damn it, the mission should have gone well. We got enough firepower to bring down a small nation, and data on the thing for a quick and easy capture. We then started searching for it as we knew what it was capable of. The mood was tense, to say the least, as we moved through the savannah looking for any traces of oil. Funny, a bunch of Americans on foreign soil looking for oil, except that it's not the kind that brings fortune and wealth, but only death and dirt. The locals didn't like our interference regardless, oil or not. The 8 of us decided to split into pairs and find the children, as the thing was most likely trying to ensnare them. Me and Colt, the captain, headed north. And that was when our little safari trip descended to hell. Soon enough, we saw those things, demons. Dozens of infants located at random spots. Aside from their slick, black, oily surfaces, they looked real. Too real. I was behind him when we were approaching it. He stopped suddenly as he was trapped in something like a web created from that creature's body. It quickly began to cover his body and pull him into different directions. He begged me to do something, so I aimed my flamethrower at him. "Anything but that," he shouted. "Listen to your captain's orders," they say, but I shouldn't have. I should have just used it then and there. Instead, like a fool, I fired my pistol at it, which was about as effective as throwing stones at a burning building. It did absolutely nothing. The next thing I knew, Colt was flayed alive. From then on, I never hesitated using my flamethrower every other second. Damn thing had fine web-like threads attached to animals and holes and whatnot. Over 2 miles. 2 miles. One by one, my men dropped like flies, either by getting ambushed and snared like Colt was with no one around to burn it, or were pulled by their feet and taken to God knows where to get digested. Every time we blasted pieces of it, it retreated in the same direction, no doubt to where the main body was. Then it was just me and So. The 2 of us regrouped, and we had cornered the thing to a large tree. She was carrying a vacuum-sealed containment unit. Not only did I have to protect her through this whole damn situation, I had to get that thing onto the unit without killing her. I was successful in one of those endeavors. I unleashed hellfire all over that thing while So was at the ready opposite of me. That sludge leaped from the tree towards So with me trailing behind. She had the unit on the ground, open, and had a flamethrower ready as well. Together, we used our flames to corner it towards the container, but out of nowhere, it lashed out a tendril at So. It got her face. I burned the thing as best as I could to get it off of her, but it was like it knew what I was doing. It went into the containment, dragging So along with it. I learned too late that it had infiltrated her body and digested her insides. Poor girl ended up as its final snack before I sealed the unit shut. She wasn't moving when I shut it. I emerged from the forest, covered in soot, entrails, and whatever my pickup crew was telling me. I was told I was successful. It doesn't feel like it. On the way back, the pilot was talking about his previous trip to Africa and how much he had learned to appreciate life since then after seeing the slums and villages. Me, caked in African mud and dirt and blood of my own teammates, only wished to burn the damn thing in the cage. We bring back a piece of this tar baby and it'll take away the entire base. I can still hear their screams. Colt, So, everyone. You hear that in every movie, so you think it's cliche. But nothing's a cliche when it's happening to you. I'm sorry. End log. Remember to check out my new animation channel, TheRubber Talks, where I share my life story, thoughts, and opinions. Just click on the link in the description to enter the Rubber's world. Before we end this video, we are proud to present these incredibly sweet pieces of fan art. A big thank you to all of you. You can now send us your fan art, and we will be more than happy to show off your best art piece in our next video. Check out our description below on how to submit. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Which SCP do you want to see in the next video, and why it is interesting? Let us know in the comment below. We will draw your story and share it with the world. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. Please share it to your friends if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.